Hello everybody and welcome to Virtual Storytime. My name is Miss Kristin and I normally work over at the Victoria Library and I am so excited to be here with you today. So if you've been to my story times before, I do vary it up with our opening song, but today I'm going to go back to an old favorite that is going to be listed on your Storytime handout, which will probably pop up right below this video here, the link. So you can do it along with me. But it's pretty simple. It's about colors and it's about making a stew. So what we're gonna do is, I have some colored scarves. Because I'm a children's librarian, this is what I have. But if you don't have colored scarves at home, it's fine. You can pretend, you can use some dish towels, whatever you want. It doesn't even have to be fabric. You can use anything you want to make a spoon and have your stew, okay? So we're just gonna be pretending like we are stirring a stew, and I'm just gonna be using my scarf for that. So here you go. Help me out, folks. We're making a purple stew, whip, 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 whip. We're making a purple stew, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, with purple potatoes and purple tomatoes and even a purple you. All right, good job, friends. That's it. We just switched the color out. Sometimes Miss Kristin remembers to switch the color out and sometimes I don't. So our next one we're gonna do for our color, what color is this? Did I hear someone say yellow? Great job, friends. We're gonna do a yellow stew now. Ready? We're making a yellow stew, whip, 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 whip. We're making a yellow stew, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, with yellow potatoes and yellow tomatoes and even a yellow you. Good job. All right, help me with our next color. What's this one? Can you see it? Green. Are you ready to make a green stew with me? Here we go. We're making a green stew, whip, 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 whip. We're making a green stew, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, with green potatoes and green tomatoes and even a green you. Good job. All right, we're really getting our colors in today. What's this one? Orange. You guys are so good at your colors. You totally are. All right, here we go. We're making an orange stew, whip, 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 whip. We're making an orange stew, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, with orange potatoes and orange tomatoes and even an orange you. Good job, friends, hooray! That's always a fun one to start with. All right. Now, we're gonna go into our letter for today. As you can see, it's no mystery. We are doing this letter. What letter is this, friends? I think I heard some of you out there. Did you say the letter S? Good job! So it is the letter S. What does an S sound like? I'm gonna let you do it at home. Perfect, good job. Yes, it sounds kind of like what a snake sounds like, right? Does snake start with the letter S too? It does. And for another story that we're gonna do later, I'm gonna show you my fancy snake that I have that freaks out some of the other people I work with at the library. So I just had to show off my snake because isn't it cool? It's really cool. He's gonna stay with me for our letter S because he might have to do a little of his S sound. All right, so we are gonna do our tracing of our letter S. Are you ready? I wanna see your magic fingers. Here we go. Good job. All right, so now you know that typically we do our big letter and then we do our small letter. So let's not forget our small letter S. Do you see our small letter S? let's not forget about this one. You can do a little teeny tiny, because it's a teeny tiny S, and we're going to do it together with our tracing. Ready? Good job. And my S is falling because I have my board on the wrong side, but it's okay. All right, so we're doing the letter S today. Our snake is going to come into play a little bit later when we do Hickory Dickory Dock. So I'm going to put him away for now. We're going to put him back here. Okay, so before we get into our first story, which I already told you what it is, we are going to do sign language. Originally, I was going to do it for the word shape because we're talking about shapes today, which we'll get into a little bit later. But I thought it would be easier to do one of the shapes because we're already going to be kind of tracing them in the air for one of our rhymes that we do later today. So if you can see over here, we have a circle, an oval, a triangle, a rectangle, a square, and a diamond. So for our sign language today, it's going to be like tracing a triangle in the air. So you can go like this, make the peak. Good job. So I am not an expert in sign language, but that's what I saw on Signing Savvy. So I will quiz you a little bit later and see if you remember how to do that with me, that sign language. Okay, so you know that we're talking about shapes. So I thought it would be fun for one of our stories today to do Hickory Dickory Dock. And I know you probably don't think about shapes when you initially kind of look at the clock for Hickory Dickory Dock, but you can definitely pick out some shapes. What shape is this? It's round. Does it look like the triangle? No. Does it look like the rectangle? No, but I definitely see some rectangles on the clock, but we'll go over that later. Does it look like the oval? Kinda. Do you see a match, friends? Is it a circle? Good job. So our center of our clock, our face of our clock, is in the shape of a circle. What about this piece right here? You trace that in the air with me. What shape do you think that one is? Let's see. If I put it like this, maybe this is a little bit easier. Does it look like the circle? No, not really, right? What about the square? Maybe if it was a little bit longer. What about the diamond? No, I don't think so either. What about this one? That looks pretty similar. It looks almost like a match. It just needs to be a little bit longer. So it's a rectangle. Good job, friends. You could find some other shapes on here if you wanted to as well, but I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible for our Hickory Dickory Dock. So for our version of Hickory Dickory Dock, we are going to have 3 different animals besides the mouse. Hold on one second, my mouse fell when I brought the snake out. Never thought I would say that at a story time before. So we are gonna have a cat. We're gonna have the mouse, which is the one that you normally see for the story. And then you're gonna see our snake. Okay, so let's go over the rhyme for Hickory Dickory Dock before we get all of our friends involved, our animals. So we'll do the mouse first, but then we'll do them again after you kind of get the flow of the rhyme, okay? So it goes like this. Hickory Dickory Dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 1, the mouse ran down. Hickory Dickory Dock. That's a pretty simple one, right? And now my clock's falling. I knew I should have used the other side of this one. So I might end up holding it, which is fine. We'll try it one more time up like this. I just might not touch it. All right, we're gonna do the mouse again. You ready? You got it? If you don't have little animal puppets or friends to do with this too, you can just pretend like you have a little mouse puppet or a cat Or if you want to get really inventive, see if your animals at home want to do this. I'm sure it would be very interesting with a dog or a cat trying to do this rhyme on top of a clock. All right, here we go. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 1, the mouse ran down. Hickory dickory dock. All right, we got the mouse. Which one should we have come out next? Should we have the cat or the snake? I think we should do the snake. All right, let's do the snake. So part of the snake is going to be around my neck, so his head is going to be the one that's kind of going up and down the clock, just to make it a little easier for Miss Kristin, okay? All right, here we go. Hickory dickory dock, the snake slithered up the clock. The clock struck 2, the snake slithered down. Hickory dickory dock. Do you want to do that one more time with me? It's a little bit different than the first one that we did. You want to do it again? Here we go. Hickory dickory dock, the snake slithered up the clock. The clock struck 2, the snake slithered down. Hickory dickory dock. All right, good job. You can say goodbye to the snake. All right, we're gonna gently put our snake down. All right, last but not least, we are going to have our kitty. And isn't she a cute little kitty? I love this one. All right. This one is the cat ran up the clock, and the clock strikes 3. You ready? Hickory dickory dock, the cat ran up the clock. The clock struck how many? 3. The cat ran down. Hickory dickory dock. All right, should we do that one more time? Okay. Ready? Hickory dickory dock, the cat ran up the clock. The clock struck how many? 3. The cat ran down. Hickory dickory dock. All right, good job. Say goodbye to the kitty. And I guess I didn't say much about the mouse, so I'm sorry. So say goodbye to the mouse. Okay. So that is our Hickory Dickory Dock. Our next thing that we're gonna do is a little rhyme called I Can See Shapes. So for this one, I'm just gonna hold up the paper so it doesn't fall down. And we're gonna go over some of the shapes on this sheet, okay? And we're just gonna sing it together, and you'll get the tune. The tune is London Bridge. Okay. I can see a circle shape, circle shape, circle shape. I can see a circle shape. How about you? Can you see a circle shape? Do you see it? Awesome! All right, now let's do this one. I can see a little square, little square, little square. I can see a little square. How about you? Can you see the square? Great job, friends! All right, what should we do next? Should we do our sign language one? Should we do the triangle? Here we go. I can see a triangle, triangle, triangle. I can see a triangle. How about you? You see the triangle? Good job! All right, we'll do one more. How about we do another one that we already kind of talked about today? Should we do the rectangle? Let's do the rectangle. I can see a rectangle, rectangle, rectangle. I can see a rectangle. How about you? Good job, friends! Hooray! We'll use this one in a little bit again. All right, so something else that you can do with that I Can See Shapes song, I know I just had the shapes in front of me, but if you were at my story time in person, which is hopefully coming soon, we could do different things like I Spy around the room, and you could see if you could find a circle in our story time room or a square. You can do the same thing at your house. This is a great way to incorporate the early literacy skill of play, right? And we'll talk about another little early literacy tip before the end of our story time today that I think you'll think is pretty cool. Okay, so our next thing that we're going to do is, I think you're going to recognize this one, friends. Do you know a song called Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? You do? Great! So you should be able to sing this along with me, right? So we're not going to go all over the shapes in this one. This gets a little complicated, but I wanted to show you that once you get all of the shapes down on this sheet, which are more the easier shapes to identify, then you get to the more complicated ones, but we're only going to focus on this one because Miss Kristin doesn't want complicated at story time. I want it to be fun story time, okay? All right, so can you tell me what shape this one is? Let's see. Does anybody know? I kind of gave you a clue with the song that we're going to sing. Is it a star? Good job, friends. You are awesome. You know your shapes. So we are going to do Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And you can do the hand motions with me if you want or not. There's several different ways to do this. So no right or wrong way either way. Ready? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Good job, friends! Did you notice that I forgot to mention that there's another shape in this one? Not just the star. What's the other one that I forgot to mention? The diamond? Yeah, there's a diamond in this one too. So not only do you have a star in Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, you have a diamond. Let's do it again. Now that I remember that there's two shapes. All right, here we go. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Good job, friends! Hooray! You really know your shapes. I am so proud of you. That's awesome. Okay, so our next one that we're gonna do is we are gonna do, what did I have planned? All right, we are gonna do some tracing. I'm gonna have my little sheet up to kind of help us of the different shapes, but you can just do this in the air too. Okay, so this is called make a circle, draw a square. So we're gonna do it twice so you kind of get it down. Ready? Goes like this. Like I said, you can trace in the air. Don't worry about not having a paper. This is just to help guide me for a visual for you guys, okay? Here we go. Make a circle, draw it in the sky. Use your finger, make it round as a pie. I had to find the square. Make a square, make the line so straight. Draw a square, 1 or 8. Now we gotta find the triangle. Ready? Draw a triangle, always start at the top. Make a tent, use 3 lines and then stop. Good job! Good job, friends. You probably noticed I wasn't doing straight lines the whole time because I was trying to find the shapes, but I'm sure you guys did way better than I did, so good job, friends. All right, so the early literacy tip that I wanted to share with you quick before we go here, because I forgot to do this at the beginning of the story time, is our alphabet. Typically I try and do the alphabet song at the beginning, but that's okay. So look at this alphabet. Many of the letters that you see, that children will need to learn are often made of shapes, right? Isn't that a cool way to think about it? Seeing circles and triangles and the letters they form will help your child recognize them as letters later on. Did you know that? I didn't know that. That's so cool. So one of the ways that you can help your child with this is to explore shapes in a number of ways. One of the things that I mentioned was that I can see shape song and doing an I Spy. You can do that. You don't have to sing the song if you don't want to, and you can just look for things in your house that are different shapes, and then you can incorporate the letter with those shapes depending on what it is, right? So I thought that was a pretty cool early literacy tip that I wanted to share. Okay, so I can't just put the alphabet up and not sing the alphabet song. So can you help me with the alphabet song? I know we're at the end of story time, but can you still help me? Thank you. We're gonna stop at, I know you can't see my letter for the day anymore because it fell down. Letter S for shapes, right? So when we get to the letter S, you need to stop me. And then we'll stop, we'll recognize our S, and then we'll keep going with our song, okay? Ready? Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. Whoa, 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 whoa! I'm hearing a lot of yelling. What did I forget? What? I was just singing. What did I forget? Where was I? Let's see. R, S. Oh, right. S, right? Because we're talking about shapes today in the letter S. You were just trying to help me, weren't you? Thank you, friends. Okay, let's start at R. R, S, T. Okay, now I can't do it because I had to do it the different way. Let's start over again. You ready? And then we're not going to stop on the S because Miss Kristin can't handle an interruption. Are you ready? Haphazard story time with Miss Kristin. Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? And you did! Good job, friends! Hooray! All right. So we talked about, let's see if I can find our letter S. Our letter S went missing, but now I found it. We did have a little S as well. I'll find that after we're done here. So we did S for what today? Shapes, right? And we talked about many shapes. We did Hickory Dickory Dock. That was the clock, right? The clock that has a circle, and it also has a rectangle, and it has some other shapes. We just tried to keep it simple, right? And then we did Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, because the star is a shape. And we also had a hidden shape in there, which was the diamond, right? The diamond, or the fancy name for it, is rhombus, but we won't get into that today for our story time, okay? All right. And before I forget, let's do our sign language for triangle, because that was one of your shapes that you did today. Ready? So draw your triangle. Do it again for me. Good job. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much. All right, let's do our closing song real quick, and then I hope to see you again soon. Ready? My hands say thank you with the clap, clap, clap. My feet say thank you with the tap, tap, tap. Clap, clap, clap. Tap, tap, tap. We roll our hands and say goodbye. Thanks for coming to Virtual Storytime today. We hope to see you in person very, very soon for programming. Thanks, everybody. We miss you. Bye-bye.